Just so everyone sees this, I'm about to film a video with like a gosh darn tornado outside. My door's closed, by the way. That's the wind coming through the actual cracks. Crazy. Well, welcome back, and we will try to hope we don't have to get blown away or evacuate during the middle of this video. But as you can see by the title of this video, this is obviously contingent on us actually getting promoted. Whether or not that happens, we, not myself, not you, are to decide that. But I will say this. I put up a poll about 2 weeks ago on my X account. Shameless plug, follow me. I post polls like this for video ideas. I would love it if you'd follow me and vote. I will follow back. Now, I agree. I think our weakest points are the forwards and the goalkeeper situation. Now, I'll get into the goalkeeper situation in my next set of videos, but for now, I'm going to be talking about the striker situation, or lack thereof, I should say. The strikers that we have under contract are either up this year or next, or they're injury prone, or they're on loan. So I do think that we need to address this situation. Now, this video is to address this situation should we get promoted. The next video that I'm going to be doing is to address the situation if we do not get promoted and stay in League 2. Now, my Grimsby America show may come out in between these, but either way, we're doing this now. This is going to be if we get promoted. Now, just to go over a few little, I guess, this is what I base my list off of. Would I love to have Erling Haaland or someone like that on this list? Yeah, of course I would. Well, maybe. Well, anyway, this is going to be strikers that I think are actually within reach, that are doable with our salary standards, that are comparable with the players that we have, that may be strikers that are out of contract. Maybe we can get them on loan. Just League One quality strikers, okay? Now, that said, you may not disagree with this list, or you may not agree with this list, whichever. It doesn't matter to me, but I do want to say this. This video is not done to devalue any of the current strikers that we have. Should we get promoted and the strikers that we currently have are the only ones that we have on the team, guess what? I'm going to support them to the fullest. But this is just me if I were doing something, and this is just for fun. This is not meant to be rude in any way. This is not meant to be negative in any way, okay? I want to hear what you think of my list, and I want to hear who you think I missed that we have a chance at too. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into today's list. These are not in any particular order, by the way. But at number 5, Lasse Nordis. Now, if there's a player on this list that you're not fully familiar with, it's going to be Nordis. And there is a bit of a question mark on this one. And that's because Luton Town just transferred him in the January window. And I think Luton Town have the same idea that I do, which is he's a League One player. And if Luton get relegated, which by all means right now they are, I don't think this is going to happen. But if Luton stay up, I think they're going to be looking to loan him. And I think we would be the perfect place for him to go, considering we already have one of their contracted players right now. So we may as well continue maybe a relationship with them and get Nordis on loan. Now, in terms of who is Nordis, right? Well, he just turned 23 years old. He's 6'4", so he's a pretty big striker, and he brings something to the squad that right now I just don't think we have, which is a good target forward, right? I mean, Obiku is probably the closest thing we have to him, and at least playing right now. And he's quick enough. He's surprisingly quicker than what you might think of when you look at him. He's performed very, very well in the Norwegian top flight for a couple of teams, and like I said, I think Luton has the same idea. They purchased him as a I guess a safe bet, or if they get relegated. And I would love to see this happen. I don't think we're going to be able to purchase him, but a loan, because I believe he's on a 4.5 year contract right now with Luton, so he's going to be there for probably the long run. But I don't think a year loan is out of the question. I highly doubt they'd be looking for a purchase at the end of that, whether it be us looking to purchase him or them looking to or a loan with intention to purchase. I don't think that's going to be in the cards, but I do think we could get him on a 1 year loan, and that could be a bridge for us to develop one of our own or to figure out a long term solution. Number 4, Charlie Kelman. So let me go ahead and get this one out of the way early. Do I want to see an American on this team? Hell yes. Would I love it to be Charlie Kelman? Also, hell yes. I'm a little biased, obviously, but I promise I have my reasons to back it up. Okay. So, Charlie Kelman, and I'm going to look here real quick. In League One this year, he's played in 36 matches, 12 goals, and 3 assists. I want to say it was the 1920 or the 2021 season, one of those two. He used to play for Southend United, okay? And before he got promoted to the senior team, he was on their youth squad, and I believe he scored something like 61 or 63 youth goals, which I know it's the youth team, but either way you look at it, 60 plus goals, I mean, that's gotta catch your eye, right? And it did catch someone's eye. It caught a championship club, Queens Park Rangers. And he's been on several loans since he signed over with Queens Park Rangers. But the thing that gets me is he's made it through 3 different managers, and none of them sold him. Okay, he went through Warburton, Gareth Ainsworth, and Marty Cifuentes. Okay, and none of them decided to sell him. They all saw something in him where they would rather him go on a loan to develop than actually sell him. From what I remember reading in the reports, I believe when Ainsworth was there, they said he was the best finisher on the team in practice, but it wasn't translating to the actual game time. Now, I did see him play in a few games. Granted, they were garbage time goals, or not goals, but garbage time minutes, and he nearly hit a goal in every game he played. Now, granted, nearly is not doing it, but he seems to have actually finally found his rhythm with Leighton this year, and I think he'd be a good addition, because here's the best part: he'd be on a free because his contract is up this summer, and he's actually pretty fast, and to me, he's sort of a younger Danny Rose, and who doesn't want a younger Danny Rose, right? To go along with the current Danny Rose. So that's my number 5, and don't yell at me too much. I know I'm a little biased. At number 3, Kian Ashford. So Ashford got a lot of game time early on this year, and he's proven that he can play, but he is behind the pecking order. I watched quite a few replay of Cardiff games this year, especially early on, because my favorite player for the U.S. plays for Cardiff, Ethan Horvath, the goalkeeper, who got benched early on. So then I stopped watching them. But I got to see Ashford play quite a bit, and he brings kind of a spunk to the squad. He's got a lot of energy. He's, I believe, only 20 years old. He's looked okay, right, in the championship. So I do think he could go to a League One and perform very well. The question marks with this one is he's from Wales. So I don't know how open he would be to actually going somewhere else. Maybe he likes his position there. I'm not really sure, but he is below the pecking order. I can't. Gosh, the name is leaving my head right now, but he's pretty much cemented himself as Cardiff's number 9, or at least the starting striker this year. And so it just he doesn't have a full place in the squad right now. And I believe Cardiff would be open to letting him go for a loan. And because of their situation, I don't think, I mean, I know they're lower in the table, but I don't think relegation is a real possibility, although they're flirting with it. But I think we would be able to get him on a loan. I don't know if we could perhaps get a option to buy, but I don't think it's completely out of the question. And I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibilities for us if we get promoted. So, what do you think of Kean Ashford? Let me know in the comments. Number 4, possibly the most well-known person on my list, Lyndon Dykes. So Dykes is such an incredibly bizarre player. He typically performs decent for this national team in Scotland, but his club level play is to be desired. And he took I don't want to say a demotion, but he went down a level in League One for Birmingham City. And he's not performed really at all. To be honest with you, I thought the move was a little bizarre to begin with because they already have a lot of depth at the striker position, and you know, Dykes is one of those players that doesn't get a lot of love for what he does well because he's not putting in 20 goals a year, right? He's a workhorse type player. He makes a lot of other people look good, and he does a lot of things that aren't going to necessarily show up on the eye test, right? And because of that, he has sort of a cult-like following. He's one of those players that either you love or you hate. And I mean that if he's on your team, you either love him or you hate him. I know several QPR fans that would take him back in a heartbeat, and I knew several QPR fans that were screaming at the top of their lungs to get rid of him. And so, love him or hate him, I do think he's an option. His wage isn't all that incredibly high considering he's dropped down to League One. And I don't think Birmingham would be all that. I think they'd probably be eager to get rid of him, especially since they're going to be moving up. So I think he's a player that should be easily accessible to get for us. And I think he's the type of player that we should definitely look into. And at number 5, coming in last, probably the most out of reach player for us, Alassane Nyata. So if you are not new, or if you're new to this channel, you know I'm a big AFCON guy. It helps that my wife is from the region, and I have gotten even more into it than I already was. And one of the things that I did with my League Two predictions at the beginning of this year was I talked about how great of a move it was that Notts County got Yada. And I predicted that he would have a big year. I don't think he is League Two quality. I think he is well above that. And Gambia has a prize player on their hands. Now, if we get promoted, guess who that means probably didn't? Notts County. Now, do I think he is going to sign for a League One team should they not get promoted? I don't know. I think if he leaves, because I've heard there's been rumors of championship clubs that are interested in him. I think this is more of a pipe dream, but I do think it's not insanely out of the question because, you know, his current salary is not exactly out of this world. It's something we could do. Do I think they would hold on to him? I mean, of course they would want to, but do I think he's going to want to stay in League Two another year? Maybe, maybe, but I just my senses say he's gone after this year, especially if they don't get promoted. And even if they do get promoted, they may cash in on it. So that would be my last person to end the list, I guess, and it'd be awesome. So if you stuck around to the end, thank you, and I'm glad that I stuck around to the end too, because the wind is still howling like crazy. So please, please, please let me know what you thought of the list. Is there anybody that I mentioned that caught your eye that you didn't possibly think of? Let me know. Let me know how you think I did. And again, please let me know if there's anybody that I didn't mention that you think we should be looking at. And that said, thank you for the support. Please drop a comment and a like. Subscribe would be awesome, but at least a like would help me a lot. And everybody have a safe week. And as always, I appreciate your views.